Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Economic and Industry Development Committee meeting number 8 on the 5th of September 2023. In attendance we have Councillor Jacob Madsen, Deputy Chair, Mayor Harding, Councillor Fechner, Councillor Doyle. There are no apologies. Acknowledgement of country. Ipswich City Council respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners as custodians of the land and waters we share. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, as the keepers of the traditions, customs, cultures and stories of proud people. Are there any declarations of interest in matters on the agenda? No, thank you. Next item is business outstanding. I draw your attention to a report titled Leveraging 2032, Our Roadmap to the Olympic and Paralympic Games, Phase 1 Consultation Report. It was resolved at the Ordinary Council meeting on the 22nd of June with the following recommendations. The Council notes Leveraging 2032, Our Roadmap to the Olympic and Paralympic Games, Phase 1 Consultation Report as the first phase of roadmap development. That in consultation with the Chair, Ipswich 2032 Legacy Working Group, members of the Legacy Working Group and members of the Advocacy Steering Group, the complete Leveraging 2032, our roadmap to the Olympic and Paralympic Games, will be presented to the Economic and Industry Development Committee. It was meant to be presented to the Economic and Industry Development Committee today for endorsement. I ask that it be noted that the report due to be presented back to committee in relation to Leveraging 2032 will now be presented to the November 2023 Economic and Industry Development Committee. Thank you. Confirmation of minutes. I move that the minutes of the Economic and Industry Development Committee number 7 of 10th of August 2023 be approved. Could I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Fechner. And the recommendation is that the minutes be confirmed. Is there any discussion? No, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Officers' report. Today we have a report on the key visitation data update. This is a report concerning the release of updated key visitation data for the City of Ipswich. Could we speak to a council officer, please?
Good morning, Carly Gregory, Manager of Marketing and Promotions.
Thank you, Ms Gregory. Just noting the importance of this data, can you help me to make the connection with the adequacy of accommodation options?
Yeah,
that
really
may have affected the
Yeah,
data.
really good question. So I think it's fair to say that the, relatively new city events plan and the destination development team are totally focused on driving visitation and more specifically overnight stay to the city. We know that overnight visitation, the more nights someone stays, the more they spend. It's just better for our economy. So, our driving focus is to absolutely correct what is not enough bed nights in our city, which is why we engineer the calendar to share out those events. So we are all about driving and building data and a compelling case and a business case to drive private investment in the city so that we can build more bed nights in the city.
Does it follow that the figures for overnight stays would be better if there were more accommodation options?
Well, yeah, we absolutely know anecdotally that when we have major events, whether they're council produced or major events in the city, the likes of winter nationals or, those kind of motorsport events, that anecdotally we know that people take up all the beds in the city and then have to stay in Brisbane or beyond. So we sometimes have people staying on the Gold Coast and driving to the events for multiple days each day. So it's really imperative that we drive this with economic development.
Does it follow then that we have an incentive program for accommodation developers?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously some of our ITOMs, so our tourism network members, are very good at giving us that feedback, what's required in the market. We work really closely with Dan Heenan and the economic development team, to be that conduit. And I know that Dan's team are out in market at the moment, seeking feedback from people that are in the know or are thinking about investing and want to know what the next step is. So they're gathering that data so that we can have a strategy on what levers we could be pulling or, things that we could be doing to assist or incentivise that investment, yes.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Last year, Council made a decision to invest in advertising outside of Ipswich to attract visitors.
Yes.
Do we know if that spend on Facebook, Google and Seek has worked, or do we have any visibility on that?
Yeah, we absolutely can see that in the economic data that we get from our major events, so that we do those reports. We can see that in the commentary. We can obviously see that in the engagement on our social channels. And what's really pleasing is we were seeing that, and now we're seeing it in our tourism data for multiple quarters, which is really, really important.
Thank
So that investment's absolutely paying off.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Thank you, Ms Gregory. The recommendation is that the report concerning the release of updated key visitation data for the City of Ipswich be received and the contents noted. Could I have a mover? I should have done that before, I think. Thank you. A seconder? Thank you. Councillor Fechner? All those in favour?
Can we have a discussion, please?
Sorry, yes. Yes, please.
Chair, can I just say it's really pleasing that for the first time that total visitor expenditure has exceeded $300 million, with $346 million spent from April 22 to March 23. By successfully increasing our overnight visitation, we are seeing the positive impact that's having on our local economy as people stay in our motels, eat at our restaurants and cafes, visit our local events and shop in our local stores. Ipswich's annual growth in overnight visitation of 106.8% is well above the average of 25.1% for South East Queensland Council areas. And Council will continue to focus on providing and supporting strong city events to continue this growth. And it's very heartening to see that the investment that we're making in advertising outside of Ipswich to attract that overnight visitation is working so well.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other discussion? I'll put the matter to the vote. Those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Notice of the motion nil. And I'll have to close the meeting, I guess. Thank you.